Just do it. I know y'all heard that phrase a long time ago, but I'll tell you a quick story how I first got into making films, and just that ability to just take a chance and do something, how far you can actually go. 'Cause prior to that, I wrote my first book, God's Will But My Choice, but a lot of people enjoyed that book and thought it was so visual. So they're like, you know what, man, I can see that as a movie. Because I wasn't thinking about making films at the time. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to write a movie. And that's what I did. And the simple act of taking initiative brought about that film. That's my favorite movie. It might not be the best looking movie, but I appreciate that the most because it was the first time I took a chance on myself and jumped out there and did something I never did before. So that's exciting. Never underestimate the ability of doing something new and how that really impacts you. So everything just came together by simply asking. What's the scripture? When asking, you shall receive. So I needed a scene. I needed an office. So I reached out to this lawyer out in College Park and worked out something. Didn't have to pay nothing. Whole office recorded. Boom. There was a scene where I needed a luxury car to fit the storyline. And turns out one of the actors, his wife, had a Mercedes S500. I was like, cool. Then I said, we need a pew-pew for the scene. And now this is a great story. The actor, he was like, oh, no worries. He reached down into his leg and pulled out a pew-pew, a loaded pew-pew. And I was like, oh, dang, brother, you on set with a live, you know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. But he was a truck driver, which is why he had it. Came together. I said, you know, I have an idea for this motorcycle scene. Well, somebody on the set, one of the actors, had a motorcycle. So the crazy thing is, like, this all came together. I'm still trying to get back to that place of just asking and receiving. I'm telling y'all about it. But it can be that simple. And also just taking a chance. You don't necessarily have to know everything because in reality, when will you know everything? All right? You just got to take a gamble. And the funny thing, that was the funnest movie. The other stuff seemed to become more of like a chore, right? Because now I'm more familiar with production. It's a lot of stuff that goes into a lot of personalities, a lot of other logistical things that need to be handled. But that first one. So I want you guys to go out there and do something for the first time. You'll figure out as you go. I want you to be strategic now. I wasn't a fool just jumping into it. I knew the core elements of what I needed to make this project happen, but I was allowing it to take shape. And also I had a message. I always have a message in whatever I do, whether that's the music, which you can check out on this channel. And if you're digging this so far, please like, share, and subscribe. At the very least, like. That way, of course, you know, gets in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching the video, please like it. It costs nothing. Anyway, so back to the movies. Everything I've done so far had a message in it. And for me, that's important. And that doesn't mean that's always going to be the most popular avenue to take. But I'm not a shallow person. I have something to say. And that's the reason why I believe I am creative. And why God has given me these talents that's often overlooked for more popular, sensationalized type of concepts. But that's cool. Because again, I'm doing it because that's an expression of myself. I'm not looking at it from the perspective of being a, you know, Tyler Perry and nobody like that. Now, I wouldn't be mad at that now. I wouldn't be mad having that type of influence because I certainly will want to have quality programming out here for the youth. There's so many real life stories that need to be shared and told. And without your help, you know what I'm saying, they may not ever get done. So if you're supporting or supportive of independent creatives, definitely check out tonightUnlimited.com, Cash App, whatever you want to do so we can help do some good movies. But I think, especially in the day and age we live, where young people, or the YNs as you call it, have lost all sense of purpose, drive, and just sheer love of life. And it comes from people in my generation. what I'm saying? So we allow these kids to just be, instead of being as strict as our parents was on us. And I'll tell you what, those, you know what I'm saying, I can't say it on here, but that turned out just fine. Because there's a difference between abuse and some get right. Anyway, but yes, so the other thing I want you guys to do is go pick up my book, No Time Wasted. This is designed to help not only younger people, but people in my generation accelerate their life. Okay? It's not only a book that you read, but this is something I put together to give you actionable steps for change and progress at the very least. Because I want you to write down, so there's assignments. I talk a little bit about my own experiences in the book, and then I turn that into a lesson and how you can apply it for yourself so that you can move forward in the right way. That's all it's about. It's about progression. And recognizing whatever steps you're taking, you need to celebrate that. Recently on the channel, I talked about how I just realized I want to do something different. I do insurance, 20 plus years. Definitely exceeded, my expectations in that arena. So now I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe it's time to do the mortgage. Let's try another aspect of the financial industry. Let's get into mortgages. So I invested money into myself, went ahead, got the course, took the state exam, passed the first time. So when I commit to something, I commit. And if nothing else you take away from this video is that it's time to get committed to something. You can't just be going through life just living. Give yourself something to live for, something to shoot for. You know what I'm saying? Challenge yourself. That's what I did. I didn't have to go spend that money because right now I'm trying to find a job in the industry. So that's the next step. But I said I wanted to have that before I pursued that direction. I don't want to be under pressure. You get a job and they give you maybe 2 weeks to pass the test and that type of stuff. I didn't want that. I said I'm going to challenge myself, study my butt off, learn as much as I can about this, and, we'll take it from there. So you should always be learning. Read, which is why I write. Not just for me, but we should be reading. You know what I'm saying? When the last time you read a book outside of watching TV? You know what I'm saying? We need to read. Always be learning. Always educate yourself. Keep growing. All right? So again, like, share, subscribe, check out the channel. My music's on here. Go to timnightunlimited.com. 3 books that I wrote. God's Will Be My Choice. The Uncomfortable Truth. That's a must read. And, of course, No Time Wasted. All right, guys. Peace and blessings.